following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
Andrew, I don't know. This line is ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, I knew the Nostalgia Funhouse was popular, but I didn't think it was this popular.
I didn't either. Hey, have you seen Will?
No. I texted him, told him to meet us here because he was supposed to teach us for the show.
Excuse me, young man. I heard nostalgia, and I wanted to tell you a story about my dead husband, Harold. He was a man who went fishing.
Lady, ma'am?
Yes, look at me. I'm a woman. I'm all woman.
I know. I can tell. Yeah, they dropped to the floor.
Stop me with your eyes. My husband's dead, but he'll haunt you. Let me tell you. So I have nostalgia once, and he would go hunting. What?
Your husband's Egon Spangler? You said his name was Harold, and then he was dead, and he was...
Yeah, what's going on here?
No, it's a different Harold. His last name was Sheboygan. Harold Sheboygan.
Did he cross the streams?
When he peed, sometimes he would, but let me... Oh, wait, is this the line for nostalgia? I can remember things if I go in there, right?
Technically, I guess.
I forget things. My name is Helen Sheboygan, and I was wondering if you know where my dead husband Harold's buried. See where he's living.
I think he's buried right around the corner.
Yeah, if you go around the corner, maybe you'll find him there. Next to Jimmy Hoffa or somebody, I don't know.
Yeah.
Will, yes.
The crazy old woman's yelling for Harold. I asked her if it was Harold Ramis, and she yelled at me.
Well, he's going to haunt us later, I was told. Sheboygan.
She's from...
I knew a polka band in Sheboygan. I tried to get with them, but they were full.
I tried to join them, and they just kept getting in the van and driving away from me.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara, she needed a ride, right?
Yeah, from the Catherine O'Hara Airport.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So there's a fun house in there, right? Is there like tubes and slides and ball pits?
No, there better be, or I've been lied to.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm here for.
I heard it's just a couple of guys talking about their childhood.
I heard just a couple of guys who just they're just sad about everything, so they talk about stuff that happened before.
Well, I tell you, I was feeling a little blue. I could use a blast from the past. Yeah.
Well, let's get in there.
Is it open?
Yep. Here we go.
Do they have corn dogs?
No. No corn dogs. Candy corn dogs.
Right now at Taco Bell, you can collect free Batman cups, like a free Batmobile cup. Or a free Batwing cup. 4 cups in all, free, with free refills and free cinnamon twists every time you buy a 32-ounce drink at Taco Bell. I want you to tell all your friends about me. I'm Batman. Right now at Taco Bell, you can collect free Batman cups, like a free Batmobile cup. Or a free Batwing cup. 4 cups in all, free, with free refills and free cinnamon twists every time you buy a 32-ounce drink at Taco Bell. I want you to tell all your friends about me. I'm Batman.
Hello and welcome to the Nostalgia Funhouse. I don't know what voice that is, but I'm Johnny. He's Andrew. Andrew, today is a special day. I want to do this Italian because where the Italians are is where stuff's much better. Today is a special day. We got the guest today, Andrew.
Yes, we do. We got Mr. Will Smith from
Hello, not the famous one. It's a different one.
This one hasn't smacked me yet.
Men in Black. I was not in Independence Day.
Do you realize
I wasn't in Hitch. I did not pursue happiness.
Did you lose 7 pounds?
I did lose 7 pounds.
Also, that was
Flash. You. Yeah, that was me.
Now, answer me this, because I've always wondered: did you grow up in Philadelphia?
I was not born and raised there. No.
Oh, but I thought you got in like one little fight.
I'm pretty sure Buffalo's pretty close.
I was up to no good though. They were making trouble in my neighborhood.
So did you get sent to Bel Air?
I tried, but I got shipped to Miami, and then I sang a song about it, and then I found a car, and I traveled back in time, and I went to the Wild Wild West, and I sang another song about it.
About the Wickedy Wild, Wild West.
Yeah, and then somebody. No, well, I did after I got rickets from being in the Wild Wild West.
You didn't tell your parents though, did you? Because they wouldn't understand.
I did tell them when I had the nightmare on Elm Street. I was on Elm Street, and I had a nightmare there, and I had to tell my parents about it. And they, believe it or not, they just didn't understand.
Now, was your mother also have a son named Jason?
I don't understand that reference, but I'll tell you what I'm not. I do not.
Wasn't the original Jason the mother? Am I right about that?
Wow, thanks for the spoilers, Johnny.
I've never seen it.
I know what we're watching. We should watch that in
October. I refuse to watch those, so you watch it by yourself. That's not my type of movie.
I never under.
I don't like slasher movies. They're not for me.
They're great, campy fun in my.
Yeah, but that's Friday the 13th, not Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, they're the same thing in my book.
They did have a hell of a crossover, but I also refuse to wear black clothing because I don't want to be misinterpreted as a man in black.
What color is your shirt right now?
It's navy blue.
Oh, okay. It looks pretty dark on my end.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting.
You have superpowers and you're also a drunk?
No, just a drunk. Just a violent drunk.
Oh. And you swear you've never tried to help Kevin James with his love life?
No, I got him hitched to a wagon instead. I mistook him for a semi truck.
All right, any more Will Smith jokes we got?
I often what I do is I get in arguments with just inanimate like rocks when I go for walks. I don't like these rocks, so I smack them and I tell them to keep my wife's name out of their mouths.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was gonna ask you. But I won't now. Like how your wife's hair was doing, but I don't want to do that now because I don't want to get smacked.
She's got a good wig. Good wig.
Do you have a friend that's a DJ and he's also jazzy?
No, I have DJ Crassy Cleft. He's got a cleft lip, so he's Crassy Cleft, and he's often very crass with his speech patterns and such.
Well, me and you are friends, and I've decided to become a DJ, and I'm a bit jizzy.
I thought it was a little sticky in here.
DJ Jizzy in the house.
Were you made in America? Because I also know that you were once enemy of the state.
Well, I guess I'd have to ask my parents where they conceived me. I guess it was probably in America, I think.
You're close to Canada. It could be either one.
It could have been, but my dad is an anti-Canadian. He's an anti-Canite.
Well, yeah.
He just hates maple syrup. That's his only grudge. Yeah.
He loves the coffee crisp.
Yes.
What did maple syrup do to him?
It was, again, with the stickiness, that sticky texture.
Oh, yeah. He's against anything sticky, I see.
Yeah.
That's why he hated me when he met me, I guess.
Well, speaking of Spider-Man, with his web shooter, he shoots out his web that's awfully sticky, because that is today's topic, one of today's topic of today's episode, as I wrangle this back in with this lovely segue. Spider-Man, Batman, and we did our 2 tournaments. Green Goblin won the Spider-Man tournament of Rogues Galleries, and obviously it was fun going through the Batman one, but Batman did win. He beat them all, but Joker won the Rogues Gallery for Batman, and we've had a couple of one listener.
We've had some controversies with
our only listener, the only one that gets very vocal with us. He is not happy with us on the Spider-Man one.
Now, Will, hear us out.
Yeah, we got to bring this up to Will.
All right, so it came up. It was Venom versus J. Jonah Jameson.
We're going iconic
villains.
Iconic, yeah.
For Spider-Man.
Johnny, tell him your reasoning, because it is one of the greatest reasonings. If you are a fan of wrestling, it is one of the greatest reasonings I've ever heard in my life.
Like, the gut reactions to say Venom all the way, right? But I present to you that it's J. Jonah Jameson. Because, in my opinion, when Hulkamania was running wild,
brother,
Hulk Hogan's number one enemy was not really any of those wrestlers he's faced. It was Bobby the Brain Heenan. That was his actual main rival, the one who was always trying to get him out of contention, out of the belt, out of wrestling. J. Jonah Jameson is the Bobby the Brain Heenan to Spider-Man.
See, I would also probably lean toward J. Jonah Jameson for the fact that Venom is that bad guy that's trying to be too cool. Hence why they turned him into a anti-hero. He's not, you know what I mean? He's
the NWO.
Yeah, he's being too cool for school
or life.
And yeah. And then you have to differentiate the Venoms though.
Yeah, for symbiote life.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Venom is the symbiote, right? But depending on who that symbiote attaches to differentiates the quality of the Venom villain.
We didn't get into this.
Like if you're going Flash Thompson, that's your or if you're going Matt Gargan, or
what a last name.
Oh yeah. Or if you're going
I had a girl do that once.
What's J. Jonah Jameson's son's name?
Junior.
Bruno.
Is it? Because there's a series where his son he gets or if it's
because he's an astronaut, right? His son's an astronaut.
Or if it's Flash Thompson, then you have Agent Venom.
Yeah,
there've been a lot of Venoms.
There have been a lot of Venoms.
Kind of like Green Lanterns.
But there's only been one J. Jonah Jameson.
That's true.
We have John J. Jonah Jameson the third.
Oh, okay. So he is a third.
He is the third.
The thrice. So I would definitely go J. Jonah as a more worthy villain to Spider-Man.
I also look at him as like a little bit of a Lex Luthor too.
Yeah, and I think he's more dynamic. Like Venom's kind of a one and done. Like it's kind of just one dimensional. J. Jonah Jameson, like he's got so many more dimensions to him as far as like, is he just jealous? Is he greedy for money? Is he?
He does podcasts now.
Yeah. So
anybody who does podcasts is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Please tell me they're cool.
That's what I'm banking on.
That's what he used to be.
I need it to be cool. I need something I do to be cool.
So,
our controversy on the Batman side of things is
I bring up Condiment King.
Just hear me out.
Damn it, Johnny. We already went through this.
I just need Will to hear. I just need Will to hear me out.
Gentleman Ghost, because Johnny for these normally I'm like Johnny.
Wait, Gentleman Ghost was in there?
No, he wasn't.
What?
He got cut because Johnny had one request. Normally,
out of all the villains, I said, Andrew, the only one that I want you to make sure is in this tournament.
Because I always ask him when we do the tournaments, because we could do 32. So
wait.
I always go, give me 16, and then I'll do the next 16. And then he was like, you know what? Just do it. Just for the Batman, I want Condiment King.
That was my one request.
So I can relate because I would have made the same request, but with Egghead. If Egghead isn't in there, I'm out.
Who did Condiment King come up against? I don't remember.
Oh, geez. I would have to. Let me see.
Oh, it was Ra's al Ghul, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was somebody.
Oh, just lead him to slaughter then. Jesus Christ.
No, hear me out, Will.
Yeah, it was Ra's al Ghul.
Hear me out.
Wait. You're going to tell me the guy who can put hot dogs or who can dress up my hot dog is more villainous than the leader of the League of Assassins.
He's more insane.
That's where we were at on this.
Who's more insane? Who are you more kind of secretly afraid of? The guy who's very upfront about being the League of Assassins, or this guy who dresses up with a ketchup gun and a mustard?
Well, no, wait. Okay, so that doesn't seem insane to me. Now, if he's coming up to me and he's got like freaking like I don't know, like petroleum jelly and horseradish, and he's like, "This is for your hot dog," that's insane to me. But he's coming up to me with a very sane proposition. Do you have a hot dog? I have ketchup and mustard strapped to my back. Can I help you out? Yeah, that's awesome. I'm game.
Don't
But
they
he
do that in
uses
Bill
these
Gates too?
condiments.
There's a guy that holds up a hot dog and they just squirt a whole bunch of ketchup and mustard on them. I,
Well,
I
I'm just
I saw
he-
this. I gotta send this. You would enjoy it since you're a big fan of Condiment King.
a giant fan of Condiment King.
Okay.
One of the greatest villains of all
Probably
time.
the only fan of
I,
Condiment King.
I actually did start the OnlyFans of Condiment King.
Oh, gee.
I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, Tight Man is getting his own television series.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about Condiment King? Where's his respect? All he's got's my one OnlyFans page.
Yeah. Condiment King, I was looking and I was like, okay, I think I got some good ones here and everything else. And then all of a sudden it came down to Condiment King or Gentleman Ghost. And God, I was like, this was Johnny's one request.
I would
got
take
it.
Condiment King over Gentleman Ghost. I can't even tell you what Gentleman Ghost does. He's just a ghost who's nice. He holds
He just looks so much.
He holds the door open for you.
Yeah.
He looks so much more cooler though than
You
Condiment.
bite your tongue. You bite your tongue, Andrew.
Do you
I mean-
think the character from the Mike Tyson murder mysteries was modeled after Gentleman Ghost?
Oh, you know why that show bugs me? Let's get into this. All right, Marcus the ghost on that show, right? They constantly with every, I know it's a cartoon, but in every episode, like the laws of his ghostum seem to change. Like sometimes he can go through stuff, sometimes he can't. Like it just really bugged me. Like keep it simple, please. I've been sit on that for a while. That and Condiment King. Check out OnlyFans / Condiment King, please.
Yeah. Jeez. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to. Well, I am a little curious, but I don't want to know.
Always.
I hope it's just
practice.
pictures of condiments with little toy crowns on them.
Yeah, got to practice safe condiments.
But looking at overall the two guys that won, who do you think is the most iconic? I mean,
Joker.
yeah, in my mind, it's Joker.
Yeah.
And then going through, Johnny and I have gone through them. Who do you think has the more iconic rogues gallery? And I understand Johnny did point this out that Batman has a what 20 year lead.
Yeah, Batman came out in the late
Spider-Man?
30s, literally the late 1930s, and then Spider-Man's in the 60s.
So a 30 year lead. Who do you think
Yeah.
has the more iconic rogues
I
gallery?
mean, Joker's literally been around, is older than Spider-Man himself.
I'm gonna give it to Batman to piggyback off of your point. Spider-Man just said, "Hey, what does Batman have? We're just gonna take that
Yeah.
and name it something else."
We noticed that. You don't know how many times I saw Tombstone. I wanted to call him Solomon Grundy. And when I saw Solomon Grundy, I wanted to call him Tombstone.
I mean, not only that. Okay, Clayface Sandman.
Yep.
Joker Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Catwoman Black Cat. Venom and Bane.
Yeah.
Only one Condiment King.
That's true.
Only one. One of
Does
one.
Spider-Man have a one to do with calendars?
Not that's coming to mind.
Or a child's storybook like the Mad Hatter? Trying to think. See if I can't pull these back up.
But like even like I mean, the Creeper, Jackal.
Black Cat Woman or Catwoman.
Yeah.
But he
There's
doesn't
so
have
many.
anybody in police that I can ever remember that was like, oh, I'm going to take down Batman. I know there's probably one, but Batman was pretty good with police there.
No, what's his name? Bullock, right?
Oh yeah.
There for a while, Bullock was sort of against him, and I think he kind of comes around to him.
Oh, you're talking bad about your man Porkins like that, Johnny?
Never. I would never talk bad about Porkins.
And it was kind of like Batman was the police were against Batman.
Yeah.
Whereas like the media was against Spider-Man.
And why is the Porkins' last name Beans?
That's a question for another episode.
Wasn't Porkins his last name though?
I think it was, but
Yeah.
that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, agreed.
My brother and yeah, it was his last name. My brother and I saw that for the first time and we thought of House of Fantasies, the comic book store. Just like
Oh yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Will knows what I'm talking about.
Great place.
For the
fine
Johnny
establishment before all the Italians left.
Niagara Falls, New York.
Where have all the Italians gone?
Do you think if we switched, if Batman had to fight Spider-Man's villains, Spider-Man had to fight Batman's villains?
I'm of the mind that both of them would still prevail over either one's villains.
Not a problem.
I agree.
And the other thing that we had too was, how do you feel about Jason Todd? The only where
would you have voted to have him killed, Will?
Yeah, would you have voted to have him killed? We're gonna do a whole episode on this one too.
Oh, so like they basically killed Jason Todd for like $1.35 profit.
Yeah, they didn't make a lot.
Yeah, with the hotline number.
Yeah.
And I mean they followed he was dead for a long time till they brought in Red Hood. And I like Red Hood, so I kind of like the Jason Todd. I actually like Jason Todd more than Tim Drake. I think Tim Drake sucks. That's why isn't he like Red Robin now?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you're really
Yum.
Yeah, he's got a great restaurant.
Yeah.
Yum.
His power is unlimited steak fries.
Bottomless. They also have bottomless root beer floats too.
But when you ask for more fries, they look at you like you're weird.
Yeah, they do give you a dirty look.
I'm like, hey, you're the one who said it was bottomless. Give me some more of those.
Well, it's not even bottomless fries. You can do bottomless sides. So if you get like a side salad, you can just sit there all day and just keep getting side salads. Keep them coming. I need my greens.
Doesn't even look good. The Red Robin.
No, it's a stupid fucking costume. It's awful.
Like Nightwing looks good.
Not at first, no. Not that first costume.
The first Robin costume? Is that what you're talking about?
The first Nightwing costume. It's fucking awful.
If I'm remembering correctly as a child, that's what was like, wow, who's that? And my dad was like, oh, that's the old Robin.
Yeah, Nightwing is legit my favorite DC character, but that first costume is not the best of those costumes.
No. I don't think it lasted very long either.
Oh,
and his costume becomes simpler and simpler every time.
Yeah, no. Okay, no.
They get to the point they're like, what worked for Batman? Oh, a black suit with just the emblem on the chest. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
And to the point where today
they upgraded it. Besides the cowl, you get a domino mask and a rat tail. Sign me up.
Yeah. And today, Batman, they take it even further. He's got the black suit, but like the Batman symbol literally takes up the whole chest of the suit.
Yeah.
It's not the little yellow one that used to go solve mysteries with Scooby-Doo.
No.
How did they really think the Scooby-Doo gang was going to do that? So there you go. Since we're doing a Spider-Man Batman thing, would you rather watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends? Or would you rather watch Batman solve a mystery with Scooby-Doo?
Batman and Scooby-Doo. Fuck Firestar and Iceman. Sorry. Forget Fireman.
No, you're fine. That's fine. That's
fine.
That's fine.
I agree. I agree completely.
Really?
Especially on Who the Fuck.
Wait. Is it pre or post Scrappy?
Oh, I don't think it matters.
Really?
Okay.
All right. So even with Scrappy, I'm going with Batman and the Mystery Machine.
All right, hear me out.
Oh, jeez.
When I was a kid, I loved Scrappy Doo, okay? Because I was a kid with Nick, and I was like, he's the greatest. So don't argue. I love Scrappy Doo, and I will always stand for Scrappy.
You know who I used to get excited over when they would show that he was going to be on the show was like Scooby's cousin or something, the big white Green Dane.
Oh, yeah. What was his name?
Oh,
I know who you're talking about, because didn't he wear a hat?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, man, he's going to be on the show. It's kind of like when you watch the 1960s Batman.
Oh, here's a little...
And then you would see the Catwoman come by on her little motorcycle.
Here's a little bit of history.
His name is Scooby Dumb.
Here's a little bit of history, too. Was it like a bucket hat he was wearing?
Yeah, he looks pretty great.
Yeah, so when I was a quote-unquote backyard wrestler, part of my attire was indeed a Scooby-Doo bucket hat.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Because I was a badass.
Loved it when
All right, well, this probably would have been more relevant for the other one, but when I did backyard wrestling, I came out. I was very heavily inspired by El Snow, so I used to come out with a Gooey Louie. You remember the Gooey Louie game?
Oh, wait, why does that sound familiar? I gotta
It
Google
was
this.
it was you would pick boogers out of his nose,
Yes.
and if you picked the wrong booger, his brain would pop out.
Yes.
Came out with that.
I came out with that, and I would bludgeon people with Gooey Louie.
I used to because this is the attitude era, obviously, with the whole Al Snow thing. I used to go to BOCES, so there would be like all of us would go and be like, "Hey, learn a trade." And the cosmetology students would get mannequins. If they screwed up, they would have to take it home. So I was like, "Can I have your mannequin head?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I used to love just carrying around the mannequin head, thinking that I was like the coolest thing in the world. Guess what? I wasn't. That's why I married the woman that I'm with now, because I knew I wasn't going to get any better.
He married up. I'm just going to go ahead and tell him that.
Yeah.
You upgraded, my friend, from
Yeah.
mannequin head to her. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. She still calls me a dad today because she will still refuses to tell me. Once again, another thing that would have been better for the other episode that we did is she would never tell me who her favorite killer bee was, jumping Jim Bronzell or B. Brian Blair. That's very important, I think, in a relationship, that you know who the other person's favorite killer bee is.
I think so too. My favorite killer bee is those ones that's on that episode of the X-Files.
I watched one episode of the X-Files life, and that was because of this. Oh, I still got Will Smith references up.
Oh, there you go.
So looking back on it, also, if we got
man, I got a whole Scooby-Doo family tree here.
Yeah, there's more than just them two, right? There's you got Scooby-Doo, you got Scrappy, you got Scooby-Dum,
Dixie-Doo, Doobie-Doo, Grandpa Scooby.
I think I've seen him.
Great Grandpa Scooby.
Oh my God.
Horton-Doo. Howdy-Doo.
You should see
Ruby-Doo.
Is there a Rudy Doo Doo?
Scooby-D. There's Scooby-Dum. Scrappy-Doo. Skippy-Doo. Whoopsie-Doo.
You do?
Yabba Dabba Doo.
Oh, gotta be, yeah.
Now we're reaching.
Yeah, the best one's Yankee Doodle Doo.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh man.
He's like a Scooby-Doo wearing a pilgrim outfit.
This is the greatest family tree of all family trees. That's a real rogues gallery right there.
Yes, it is. The more you know.
So let's go. Who is your favorite?
Oh, let's do this before we get into this, because you reminded me of this. Okay. Will, who's your favorite Spider-Man villain?
Scorpion.
Okay, and who's your favorite Batman villain?
Clayface.
Oh, those are two good picks.
Yeah.
Two good picks. Because I'd go Doc Ock for Spider-Man, and I'd go Mr. Freeze for Batman.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of if I want to go basic for Batman, I go Joker. But if I'm going, because Joker was like the first villain I ever saw in Batman, and I remember at my uncle's wedding, I got to have coattails. So it was like the greatest thing in the world. And I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I was like, oh man, I get to dress like the Joker. But outside of the Joker, it's the Mad Hatter for Batman. And for some reason, for Spider-Man, the Shocker. I can't tell you.
Because they would always air that episode. They'd always air that episode.
I always liked the Shocker, and I hated Electro. Like, if we got to go most hated out of I hate Electro. Even though I have a little Electro action figure, but I got it at Walmart on clearance. I just never liked Electro.
So who's your most hated Batman villain?
One that I'm like, why are you here?
Don't say.
I'm not going to say Condiment King.
I will quit this show.
Oh, I don't think that I really
Oh, in this Zoom right now.
I'm not big on Man Bat. I could say
Okay.
that much. Man
Yeah,
Bat
I would agree with that. He's probably my
Yeah.
least favorite.
and like Doctor Hugo Strange. Sometimes it's
Okay. I can see
a
that.
little weird there. Like the scientist thing, I think it's so like early comic books. Like when you watch the early Supermans, he's not battling Lex Luthor. He's always battling some evil scientist that makes giant robots.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I get annoyed with Doctor Hugo Strange.
And isn't it wild, like when kids always will gravitate to like a certain villain? I know my buddy Trevor, his 5-year-old has discovered and is obsessed currently with Bebop and Rocksteady, right?
Nice.
From Ninja Turtles. He loves them. It's his current favorite thing is Bebop and Rocksteady.
When you say turtles,
I don't know. I just know he loves Bebop and Rocksteady to the point where Trevor got like a 4-pack. It had Bebop, Rocksteady, Leatherhead, and I can't remember who the fourth villain was.
I think there's like a foot soldier or mutagen man in there.
I don't remember, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's from the newer movie, if I'm thinking correctly.
Oh,
And he his son only wanted Bebop and Rocksteady. He said he can give the other ones to his little brother.
oh, that's nice. He's sharing.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, yeah.
Who is your guys' most hated on both sides?
I'm going to agree with Man Bat. I think he's the least interesting for me
Yeah, it's
on Batman's side. On Spider-Man's side, man, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I think it's because he got the Wolverine treatment where he's everywhere. It's Venom. He's just.
I never told Will those stories either. That I'm shocked that I didn't pick Venom. So I hate Venom. Like I literally hate him.
Oh yeah, I know the story. You have a real reason.
I hate Venom. So my brother was huge. Once Venom came out, everything had to do with Venom to the point where he would pin me to the ground. My older brother would pin me to the ground, stick out his tongue and wag it and go, I'm Venom. But he would let saliva slide down his tongue and it would like hit my forehead or my face. And it was just the worst thing. And to this day, I hate Venom. And I'm not really that big into Spider-Man just because of that childhood trauma there.
Now,
how are you going to pay this back? Retribution needs to be taken.
I don't know. I peanut butter slapped him one time, like Andy Melanaka style, where you just put some peanut butter on your hand. I just like peanut butter slap. So I did that, but yeah, that was. Oh well, no, I did other things too that he didn't notice. I peed in his Pepsi one time.
There you go.
Yeah.
It probably tasted better. So name something bad that you did to him.
It was from Taco Bell, and I was like the little brother. And if you've ever watched,
he thought it was Pepsi Twist. Remember that?
if you've ever watched Monster Squad in the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The choice words that kid has, that's what often my brother called me. So one day I just got pissed off, and I was like, "Well, here you go."
Well, I would probably have to say for Spider-Man, it's definitely Morbius because that episode was on constantly. It's constantly on.
Yeah.
Every time.
You know what? I'm changing mine.
Yeah.
Because at least Venom gave us the black Spider-Man suit, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then for Batman,
it's hard. I think it's hard for Batman.
See, like my same philosophy applies to this as Venom. Like if you don't like one Venom, there's like so many different Venoms. Like you could like Agent Venom, but it's still kind of Venom. Like I love Danny DeVito's Penguin, but anytime I watched the Batman the animated series episode and it was a Penguin episode, I was like, oh man, this is gonna stink. I wasn't big into Penguin back then.
How do you feel about Burgess Meredith Batman?
Amazing, but that was like.
How do you feel about books published by Penguin?
I can take them or leave them. Some are good, some are bad.
Yeah.
I tell you what I hate is Mr. Popper's penguins.
All of them?
All of them. All those penguins can just go. The other reason, too, is kind of childhood trauma. My one year for Christmas, all I wanted was toys from Batman Returns. Right?
Understandable.
They were like huge. People had like remember Remember, like they made like a Robin figure, even though Robin wasn't in the movie.
Yeah. Yes.
I actually have a funny thing the way that your dad said that he hates Canadians. So keep on going and I'll tell my story.
So Christmas morning comes and I'm like, oh, this is a Batman Returns figure. Awesome. And I open it up and it's that god awful 2-pack of those freaking penguins.
Oh.
And you could, I right then I knew my parents didn't love me because they didn't make an effort to go to the store to get something earlier in the season. Like it was so clearly like the day before Christmas. This was all that was left on the shelves. And little Billy's getting goddamn 2 penguins with rocket. Like I didn't even get a Batman. I didn't get a penguin. I didn't get a Catwoman. I didn't get nothing. I got 2 National Geographic repacks of these penguins, and they gave them these stupid rocket firing backpacks.
That's the penguin.
When my father asked me why I spend so much time, useless time and money on toys, I tell them this is why. Because you got me these 2 penguins.
You did this.
You did this to me.
I learned it from you.
Those were short packed because my dad was huge into comic books. So any comic book toy that came out, like I had all the toys as Marvels, pretty much, I would have to say. And those were short packed. And it was the Canadians that would come over. Not to say anything bad about Canadians, but it was the Canadians that would come over.
We're not saying anything bad about the Canadians, but how many Italians are up there?
But
you know,
they would come over and they would raid the Toys R Us, and it was the Summer Park Mall Toys R Us because that's where we would obviously go a lot. And they would raid it, and they would take the Robins, the Penguins. I had a Penguin and a Robin and a Catwoman.
Yeah,
not to brag.
Rub it in.
Not to brag. Not to brag. But
all right, Brian.
Even the penguin was weird because it was just a superpowers repack. Like
that's all it was because it was Kenner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out that one of the Batman with the jetpack is the jetpack was from Silverhawks. So they kept this jetpack around for like almost probably 10 years. This jetpack, and they were like, put that on Batman now.
Yep. Well, even the one Batman figure whose arms would pop out, it was just a repurposed Silverhawks figure. Remember the one you'd squeeze his legs together and his arms would pop out and he had the cloth cape. And then they repurposed it again for a Spider-Man figure with web wings.
Damn you, Connor.
Always with the repacks.
Always.
And the repaints.
Yeah.
Just like Friar Tuck is just Gamorrean Garden drag.
Yeah. I find this fascinating though. Like who's repacked from who?
Oh, it's crazy. Like the 1, 2, 3 kid is
Sean Waldman. Yeah.
No, it was Ric Flair's body from the Hasbro's. No, not Ric Flair. Ravishing Rick Rude. Tell me those are not 2 drastically different bodies.
No, Ric Flair had the same body too.
Oh yeah,
and all 3 of them had the same one. But how many of them had eyebrows?
Oh, and Marty Jannetty's teeth are not painted.
Well, they didn't want to. They didn't want. They thought maybe people think it's cocaine, so they didn't want.
I don't know. I follow one of my favorite follows wrestling wise on Twitter is the Hurricane, Mr. Helms.
Yeah,
he's a pretty funny guy. But like they've been they'll put these pictures up on Twitter where it's like, hey, what do you think this looks like, this or this, right? Like you look at the picture, you try to see what it resembles, and it looks a lot like Jason, the Jason mask, right? Mm-hmm. And he posted that, goes, oh, I thought this looked like Captain Kirk. And I got a big kick out of it. Oh, it's Michael, right? Michael. Whoever the Captain Kirk mask
Michael
was.
Myers,
yeah, Michael Myers. See, they're all the same to me, but I got a kick out of it.
Johnny. Okay.
Jason Voorhees would be more akin to Casey Jones.
Better toy line? Batman or I don't want to say Super. Batman or Spider-Man? Or better like overall toys that you've seen come out? For me, once again, I think it's Batman because he's got that jump. And there's more to the Batman world. Like you have planes and helicopters. You had that with Spider-Man, but it didn't make sense in a way.
What are you saying? The spider buggy doesn't make sense?
No, kind of like the Batman superpowers Batman ship. I completely killed my sons with that. I was like, think about that. Superman ship, where I was like, think about that. Does he really need that? And they were like, well, why wouldn't he? I was like, Batman flies.
Sometimes Superman gets lazy. He wants a place he can keep the villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever
you can walk somewhere. You don't need a car.
Have you seen the jogger? Kenner,
No.
what the jogger, where it's just you put Superman or superpower figure into the seat and it's two legs and it's just supposed to look like
So it's like a treadmill for your action figure.
yeah, but it's just legs. It's not even like that.
And so you could take larger steps, thusly getting to your destination faster.
But the only thing when it came down to, if I had to come down to play sets, that Spider-Man Daily Bugle or not, yeah, Daily Bugle. I get a mess. Daily Bugle play set that Toy Biz has was absolutely amazing.
So speaking of play sets, have you guys ever done the deep dive of the Batman Wayne's Manor playset?
No, but I've seen it on good old retro blasting that I love.
So that is such an anomaly in toys because it's the same mold. They used it for multiple movies and multiple different toy companies released it. Like Toy Biz released it, Kenner released it, Mattel released it. Like whenever Batman's rights would change over from different toy company, like it was still the same playset.
Yeah. If you want to, Johnny, I'll send you the video after this. It's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, I love this toy history stuff.
yeah, go check out retro blasting too for the video. It's that Mike guy, he seems kind of angry, but he seems legitimately angry about things.
Now, the three of us were very much, I think we've developed our opinion for Batman or Spider-Man due to their animated series of the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say at the time, as a child, I would say the Spider-Man toys were better because they had more articulation. And they were
No, you're saying as an actual toy. Yeah.
As a toy, yes.
Yeah.
But as a collector and like an adult that now I would just use it for display, I think the Batman animated series toys are much better because you look at them and you could tell they're from the animated series.
Yeah.
Like when you
Right.
look at the
There's a
Spider-Man,
style.
yeah. When you look at the Spider-Man toys from the animated series, they could be any Spider-Man from any series.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
So
Yeah, I had the only thing that always pissed me off about Batman toys was just so hard to find a Batman after a while. Just
well, a regular Batman. You get
yeah,
all these
like a regular
variants.
yeah, I didn't need Arctic Batman. I didn't need Jungle Fever Batman. I didn't need
Well, you'll need those. You'll need those.
I didn't know how to word it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's always
You'll
he's
need
always
that
going
one.
after Catwoman.
Well, I was gonna say more so. You'll need that one. Poison Ivy is the villain of the week, and Frostbite. You'll need that one. Mr. Freeze is the villain of the week.
I
Yeah.
just didn't
Gotta be prepared.
yeah, but I didn't. I see. Not to get off subject. I liked it when it came to the Iron Man toys.
Yeah,
That was always a cool thing. Like I collected a lot of those, and that's what drew me to the Iron Man cartoon series. But when it came to Batman, it just always annoyed me when I got older. Like, why do I need grappler Batman? The only one that
Yeah.
made sense to me was when they do the quick change Bruce
Yep.
Wayne.
yeah. It's funny because they don't really do that with Spider-Man. You don't get all these like different variations of Spider-Man. You just get a different Spider-Man with different articulation.
And
You
different
might get like
suits.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
they're like moderately different. Like you might
Yeah.
get the black instead of the blue, or
No, I mean, I still have a couple of I got like the Fantastic Four Spider-Man suit one,
Yeah.
and I got like I got a couple like that, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
The only time you got anything, you got Peter Parker, not quick change Peter Parker, not anything like that. You just got Peter Parker, and it was just Peter Parker and a camera. I want to say.
now who's
Oh, it
better?
has to be.
Who would you rather have watching after you, Alfred or Aunt May?
Oh,
Which Aunt May?
Old as dirt, Aunt May, and old as dirt, Alfred.
like the one who let us in line.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that one.
that was Aunt May.
Yeah, she forgot who she was. I'm sure.
I really like
Aunt
Alfred.
May Sheboygan.
I like Aunt May, but I feel like she's more vulnerable than Alfred.
Yeah,
So-
but you also got to think this too. You got to hide it from Aunt May. You don't got to hide anything from Alfred.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
like,
could kiss Alfred right on the mouth.
but
He's
he's
okay.
gonna let people into your bat cave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow.
the other problem.
He's tired of you kissing him. He wants you to kiss
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah. He's getting worried. I gotta agree, it's Alfred, but
Yeah.
Aunt May's still pretty awesome.
How
Yeah,
did
I
you
never.
guys feel when they made that Alfred TV show where he was supposed to be like a secret agent?
I tried watching it. I couldn't. I
Okay,
watched like half of the first episode, and I was like, "No, this is dumb."
that's what
I
I.
think the idea of it was good, but the execution was less than good.
It was very comparable to like that Agent Carter show. Like, good in theory, but it's not panning out.
I didn't
Yeah.
even bother with that. I'm trying to think of any more Batman.
Which is your favorite Spider-Man suit, Will?
Yeah,
Probably the first appearance where it's red and black, and he's got the armpit webs.
I do like. I don't know why, but I also like the armpit webs. But my favorite suit is the Fantastic Four one. I just love that white and black suit. I think it looks
Oh wait,
awesome.
wait! Bombastic Bagman. I changed my mind.
I know he's not like I believe from what I remember that it's not Spider-Man, but I always kind of like the Scarlet Spider one, just like the ripped kind of shirt.
Oh yeah.
I always like that one. And Batman, got to go with Adam West. Classic, clean, conforms to the body to show the beer belly and the small arms. It's the best.
I'm still able to run bombs away from nuns. Impressive.
Get your shark repellent.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of bat do you think Batman is?
Great question. And then what kind of spider do we think Spider-Man is?
The reason I ask about Batman is because I've realized that the number of nipples that a bat has is depending on its species. So depending on what kind of species Batman is, depends on how many nipples Joel Schumacher will have to put onto his suit.
Well, he has famous. I know he has at least two.
Yeah. He could be like that dancer in Jabba's palace and just have him all the way down his stomach.
And why is there a hyphen in Spider-Man but not one in Batman?
Because he is a bat.
Yeah, that's who he is. He is Batman.
He is the knight.
He's a man,
Yeah.
where Spider-Man is just a man who thinks he's a spider.
Yeah.
Wonder if
Do you think Black Widow ever bit off Spider-Man's head after mating
that would be
and
It's
ate
good.
him?
that'd be very interesting.
I mean, she's Black Widow.
Well,
That's
not
what
for
they
him.
do, right?
What if Batman got bit by a radioactive bat and Spider-Man just drew inspiration from a spider?
He was real scared of spiders once. He walked through a web going to his car and he got really scared of spiders.
And it is New York City.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Hey, that is not fun walking through a web. It is not fun.
You don't know what's at the other end of it. That scared him so bad that he wanted to terrorize criminals by dressing as a
That's
spider.
one of the worst parts is like when you're a kid walking through the woods. You know, you always run through a spider web every once in a while. That's always the worst.
I feel though, if the roles were reversed, like Batman made his cape to resemble bat wings, I think Spider-Man would also then, like a marionette puppet, he would stitch two other arms on either side, so that when he would raise his arms, they'd all work in unison. They're useless. They're not a part of him, but he would like fabricate extra arms.
Well, also Peter Parker would be dead because he wouldn't have the powers at all. He would have the Spider-Man powers. The reason Bruce Wayne works is because he did all that training. Peter Parker's a child.
So then
he's a teenager.
We got to reverse it. Spider-Man's wealthy, and then Batman's poor.
That would be interesting.
So you got to flip that too. Because yes, if you're not rich and you're just a guy dressed as something, you're gonna die.
It'd be Alfred the butler or Uncle Alfred.
Yeah.
And the maid May?
Oh yeah, May the maid. Maid May.
Yeah.
With the power of dusting.
She's going from suck to blow.
I never understood that reference until I got older. I never understood why my father laughed so hard, and then I just sat there like an idiot, going, "I don't get it." Now I get that reference.
I think that should be a what if comic.
If Batman went from suck to blow, or
no, it's like if they just swap the origin stories of Batman, Spider-Man.
That would be interesting. Probably the final one is I don't know if you're a video game player there, or is who has the better video games?
Mm.
I think the Arkham Batman games are top tier, just in video games in general. They're
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
But I would also argue those newer Spider-Man games for the PlayStation are also top tier.
What about some old?
But they took a lot of inspiration from those Batman games for sure.
What about some old NES stuff?
Now let's go old NES. Oh good God. I guess Batman.
Yeah, I would go Batman.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Batman, but hear me out. This is why. Because that Tiger handheld electronic game for Batman the Animated
Oh, don't bring
Series
those up to Andrew. He hates those.
was tops. Was tops.
So me and you are together there on that, Will. But
You and Matt, you guys and Matt would have this
Well,
love affair over these Tiger handhelds, and
that's all I had as a kid growing up.
maybe
Long road
because
trips.
I had a
And
Game
we're
that.
Boy.
poor, Andrew. We're poor.
I had
I
a
wasn't
Game Boy.
allowed. I wasn't allowed to have video games because they're like, you're fat, and if we give you video games, you're gonna get fatter.
Oh.
And then it was the opposite. Once I got video games, I stopped eating because I was actually doing something with my hands. And
Well,
that,
I would
and
eventually
I was
decide. Yeah.
well, yeah, I was a teenager too, so my hands were not. My
Hands are
hands
all-
were busy.
there's no idle hands going on.
I say it's three things help me with my weight loss. Uh, having my hands occupied for teenager, having my hands occupied for video games, and the discontinuing of the turtle pies.
Oh yeah, but that's still sad. I miss those.
That cereal was good. I think Ninja Turtles had the best food.
Those SpaghettiOs, there's something in them.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
I always
Batman
don't get.
and
Yeah.
that. I think that's. I don't know. You guys want to add about Spider-Man, Batman?
Who's got the better comics?
Oh,
I got more into Batman. Like I kind of got away from comics as I got a little bit older. But the ones that I've been reaching out more for, and it's been more graphic novel type stuff, is Batman over Spider-Man. Like I haven't heard anything. I've heard anything that I wanted to go out and buy and read. Like I read The Long Halloween for Batman, even though I know that's old, and I still have The Batman Who Laughs. Where Spider-Man, I don't know. I just don't find too much interesting. My other thing with Spider-Man 2 is I think that got me as a kid is the cover where Craven buries him alive or is about to bury him alive. And I was like, why would I like this guy? He's getting his ass kicked he's getting buried alive. Nobody else.
there's literally a Batman cover where he's getting broken in half by Bane.
Yeah, that happened.
that was later on in life.
I'm
pretty
just saying.
sure that predates the Craven comic.
No, does it?
I'm pretty sure. I think Craven's Last Hunt.
I remember that Batman cover when I was a kid, so it was
Yeah.
definitely in the
Like
90s.
I know Nightfall was like 92, 93
Yeah, it was
maybe.
early to mid 90s for sure.
And I'm pretty sure Craven's Last Hunt is like late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Craven's Last what?
It can't be late
Hunt.
90s.
Oh, Hunt.
Yeah.
No, this was. I don't think this was Craven's Last Hunt.
Well, that's the one I was thinking of.
Because my father would go through his comic book collection once a year, and then he would separate them from the Web of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and I forgot which one.
Now I will while you're looking that up, I will say for me, there are a lot of Spider-Man stories that I really love in the comics. The one that really there's ones that surprised me. Like there's the one where it's Superior Spider-Man, and I thought I was going to hate it because I'm a big Doc Ock fan, and him switching places or taking over Peter Parker sounded awful, but it ended up being freaking awesome. But there's been plenty of Spider-Man stories that I really loved. But my all-time favorite story in comics ever was that run of when they started the New 52 of Batman with Scott Snyder, him writing those Batman. Those are my all-time favorite. Like that's top tier for me with writing and art and characters and comics, and so I'd got to go. So I'm going to give Batman the edge. So,
Yeah, me too. And that goes for like DC Marvel. Like I'm more gravitated toward the Marvel movies and the Marvel shows, but comic wise, like I'm always picking up DC stuff. I've really enjoyed. I brought it up to you guys, but I really enjoyed the One Bad Day comics that they released. It's kind of like a continuation of like the Killing Joke, where they take a villain and they just show like one aspect of their being that kind of defines them. They did one for like Riddler, Clayface, Bane, Mr. Freeze, Catwoman, Two-Face, and if I didn't say Riddler, Riddler. If I didn't say Penguin, Penguin. I couldn't remember. But they were really good. And then the three Jokers was pretty neat. They've always said that like the Joker's he's the Prince of Crime, the comedian, and then the psychopath. And they made it so that they were actually three different individuals. So it's never the same Joker that the Batman's going against, but they all have the same moniker and they actually team up and try to work together. It was pretty interesting.
What was the one of the Frank Miller ones?
Year one? No. The Dark Knight Returns.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was the first like comic anything that I read in a long time, and I sat there and that was like a 1 day just read because I couldn't just stop. So Craven's Last Hunt,
Yeah. When did that come out?
October of 1987.
Really? All right. I stand corrected.
I was gonna say because I remember what house my dad was living in, and I was like, no, I didn't have any of the little what the hell was this? Azrael
Yeah.
Yeah,
took
yeah.
over. I didn't have that toy yet because that was like one of the first things I wanted.
And the Nightfall comic is actually like I've read all 3 volumes, like the whole build up to the Bane thing. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people just think it was like Batman getting his ass kicked by Bane.
No,
It's far,
no.
far from the truth.
No,
Like,
the reason that I said this before when we were doing our tournament that Bane does not get the credit he deserves as a villain because he's not just this big brute. He actually is a master tactician, and he set Batman up for all that. Like he put Batman through the ringer before he even fought him.
yeah, like he released all the criminals from Gotham, from Arkham rather, so that he had to go through like the gambit. So did like reading Nightfall, the one character that stood out that I didn't even know about was that Tallyman. That guy was creepy. You guys remember him?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know the name yet.
He was like a creepier scarecrow.
Yeah.
I think Bane is probably the one out of all the villains that we've seen in the movies and everything else that nobody seems to be able to get 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like of
They
what
go
he like
They
what
just go one dimensional and they make him just like a brute. Even in Dark Knight Rises, like they kind of got there, but then making him the heavy for Talia was like a huge disservice.
Yeah, I didn't like that twist there. That really annoyed me.
he was real good in. What was it? Not damn it, Young Justice.
Oh yeah, the show. Yeah.
Bane in the cartoons is way better.
Well, Bane in the animated series is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you gotta make him what he is, the super intelligent person that can fight and everything else. They're just either, like you said, either they're making him a brute or that has a little bit of smarts, or they're just making him a complete idiot like they did in Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've ever seen Batman and Robin all the way through because it was just such a huge.
That guy was in that WCW classic. He was a wrestler.
The guy played Bane. Yeah.
Yeah. Which for the promotional poster, they didn't have a picture of him, so it's just a picture of Bane, him wearing the Bane mask.
Yeah, because they used when they were doing the new, what is it, Dungeon of Doom?
Yep.
They used the set of Batman and Robin for the new Dungeon of Doom. So there's your wrestling reference.
Right? Hey, RoboCop was in WCW.
Yeah, he was. That was not good.
What are you talking about? He saved the day.
He helped Sting, right? Then he broke out Sting.
Yeah, he broke out Sting.
Yeah, sure.
Saved the day. Sting would still be there today if it wasn't for RoboCop.
Oh, well, I'll tell you who's going to beat Rick Steiner in the election is Chucky.
That's deep. That's
a super deep cut. I love that.
That's a deep cut. 2000s WCW, how we miss you.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I should have caught that sooner. We literally just watched Child's Play 3 yesterday.
I don't think I've seen. That's the one where Andy's older, right? In military.
Yeah. Yep. Talk about fire drill.
We need to get Johnny to watch some slasher.
I refuse. You'll never get me. That's the one. I just don't like them. They don't do anything for me. I don't understand. It's just a genre. I don't understand why it exists.
I get it.
Depravity.
I get it to an extent. Like the first couple of Nightmare on Elm Streets, like I've watched them all, like kind of took me in. But when they couldn't keep the continuity right, or they kept on trying to like rewrite things,
Yeah.
it was a little ridiculous. That's
I
what
think I think for me, anytime the one celebrated is the one who's going around viciously murdering people and is obviously evil, I have a hard time liking it.
I,
But that's me. I know I have plenty of people in my life who absolutely love them like y'all. So I'm in the minority here.
I enjoy them to an extent as long as it's not overly stupid. Like once they start
Well,
getting,
that's where we differ because when they turn into comedies, I love them. Like
oh,
Dell and Tucker versus Evil is sort
Yeah.
of a take
Yeah.
on that in a way, and I love that movie. That movie's fantastic.
what's the Shaun of the Dead?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that Trinity there. I can go with all three of
Now,
those movies.
I had two questions for you guys. What
Okay.
movie would you have rather had come out? James Cameron's Spider-Man or Tim Burton's Batman 3?
I think I'd rather see Tim Burton's Batman 3, even though I don't know too much. Because I think I've heard about James Cameron's Spider-Man, and
Yeah, it was awful. It was going to be terrible.
I didn't like the direction, so I think
No.
like
Well, I'm going to add you a third choice, Superman, but with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Tim Burton's Superman Lives.
no,
Yeah.
I'm still going Batman 3.
I'm going Batman 3. Would you
Yeah.
like to have seen Marlon Wayans play Robin?
Yeah. So go on this subject. I would highly recommend you read Batman 89. It's a 6-part comic series that came out maybe 2-3 years ago, and it's basically Burton's Batman 3. Like
Really?
it's got they acknowledge Batman and Batman Returns, and it has Keaton, like the likeness of Keaton's in the comic, the likeness of Billy D. Williams as Two-Faces in the comic. It's the same Commissioner Gordon. They bring in his daughter as a police detective, and it's got Marlon Wayne's likeness as Robin.
Porkins?
Yeah, Porkins is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
But I would give that a read if you could find it.
Okay, so here we go. One final question. Because there's too many. Top 2 Spider-Mans in movies and top 2 or just live action. We'll go live action. Top 2 Spider-Man, top 2 Batman.
We're talking actors who portray them. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just your top 2 for each guy.
Spider-Man, I feel is easier, right? Like I think it's Tobey Maguire because it's the first one, and I'll always love Spider-Man 2. I think that's a top tier video movie. And man, you know what? I think I'm gonna go Holland, the current one. I think he's really good. That's Spider-Man for my Spider-Man. What about y'all?
My top 2, I got to go Tom Holland as the best. I feel because he's younger, and Tobey Maguire for the next one.
For Batman, I'm gonna go first one. Gosh, I gotta go Adam West for Batman number 1. Batman number 2, I'm gonna go Val Kilmer.
That's interesting.
I like Val Kilmer. And then for Spider-Man, it's got to be Tom Holland for number 1, and then whoever played him in those god awful Japanese television shows.
I would love to.
Yeah, for Batman, I gotta go. Adam West has got to be on there for me. And oh man, this one's tougher.
It all depends what kind of Batman you like, I feel.
Yeah. Man.
Nicholas Hammond is his name. Shout out to Nick Hammond.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. Nailing it.
Miller?
I'm gonna go Adam West, and I want to go. I think I'm gonna go Bale. I know that's an unpopular choice, but I thought he was besides doing this, I thought he was great.
I gotta
Awesome actor.
I'll go Adam West and Keaton.
I knew who yours were before you even said it.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton's Batman. That's because I got that tape for Christmas and I watched it like constantly. Batman.
And I will always argue that Jim Carrey was actually a fantastic Riddler.
Yeah, shout out to Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
I feel like both Jim Carrey and what's his name?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you very much. They were just trying to do their best. Jack Nicholson.
Ooh. Shout out to casting my childhood crush in Drew Barrymore too.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say my childhood crush, Jack Nicholson.
Well, you know, he was a dapper guy back in the day.
Well, hey, yeah, he was.
Have you seen One That Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah, and he knew my name. He knew my name, and he told me where I was at.
So, do you think there's a lot of people that love doing the conspiracy theories? I've seen one where that the Batman movies were just one flew over the cuckoo's nest where Danny DeVito's character and Jack Nicholson character talk to each other, some crap, because they're both from both of the Batman movies.
Yeah, and then Back to the Future was the other spinoff too.
For what? Batman?
Cuckoo's Nest.
Who is in that? Oh, Christopher
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yeah. That's how he hit his head. Figured out the flux capacitor.
But that is it for our Spider-Man and Batman talk. You can catch us anywhere where you find podcasts. Will, do you want anything? Got anything you want to promote?
No, not at all. Just
a panel discussion.
Oh yeah, that thing that what we discuss about the panels that we put on the walls. The wood paneling.
It's the
podcast panel discussion. Yeah.
It's like the more recent dirty uncle of the show.
I don't know if I like that description.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, don't listen. But okay. But that is it. And with that being said, what may not be nostalgia for you may be nostalgia for some.
To fight evil, Spider-Man will go anywhere, anytime.
A superhero's gotta do what a superhero's gotta do.
Whoa, Spider-Man!
Sorry I can't hang around.
Because the action's at McDonald's. Take a break with a hamburger Happy Meal for just $1.99. There's Spidey, Spider-Man characters, and hot cars with cool moves. One with every $1.99 hamburger Happy Meal you buy your kids.
Spider-Man, I just saw Scorpion in the drive-thru.
Have a nice day.
Thanks.